Welcome guys to the midst of Ho Chi Minh City, the town of bustling markets, busy streets and incredible landmarks. We are here to explore the Vietnam War. The Vietnam War actually took place from 1955 until 1975 and was fought between the northern Vietnamese, who were more on the communist side and were supported by the Soviet Union and of course the Chinese, and the southern part, which was more on the liberal side and was with the Americans. The war had its most military involvement from 1965 until 1973 and ended with the withdrawal of the Americans. In this very video, we're going to explore the War Remnants Museum, the Cu Chi tunnels, and of course much more. We're going to be on the trail of the Viet Cong. So let me introduce you first to this very memorial right here. This memorial actually remembers of the famous Viet Cong, who was back in the days a Buddhist monk who burned himself on the 10th June of 1963 on this very intersection here in Ho Chi Minh City. And you might ask yourself, why did he do this? Well, the government at the time, which was mostly Catholic, actually persecuted Buddhists. And he tried to protest against that. He burned himself, and an American journalist called Malcolm Brown actually took a photograph of that scene. He published it, and it went viral all over the newspapers worldwide. And it's actually said that this event actually contributed to the downfall of the Vietnamese government at that time.
Before I close my eyes and meet the Buddha, I sincerely hope that President Ngo Dinh Diem will have compassion for the people and implement a policy of religious equality and bring permanent stability to the nation.
So here we are at the War Remnants Museum, and as you can see, there's a lot of American hardware which was actually left after the war when the Americans withdrew from the land. And you can check it all out in front of the museum. Inside there will be more history. We're gonna take a look at that as well. But let's take a look at the airplanes, at the jets, at the helicopters they left. Not far from the abandoned American vehicles lies something far more disturbing. Tiger cages, made of barbed wire and just barely big enough to hold a person. Prisoners were forced to lie, crouch or squat inside, unable to stand, exposed to the elements and left to suffer. And just steps away, a guillotine, introduced by the French and later used by the Republic of Vietnam to execute Vietnamese patriots across the South. And all of this ties back to Con Dao prison, a brutal island facility where political prisoners endured beatings, starvation, solitary confinement and relentless torture. It became a symbol of colonial cruelty and resistance. We are now inside the War Remnants Museum, where these badges from American anti-war organizations are on display, worn by students, veterans and activists. They symbolize resistance to the Vietnam War and a powerful demand for peace. This movement wasn't limited to activists. Across America, children, women and even members of the military joined the protests. And it didn't stop there. Countries like Algeria, Tanzania and Indonesia also saw demonstrations uniting people around the world against the war. Fidel Castro also played a key role, not only diplomatically but ideologically. He strongly supported North Vietnam as part of the global communist movement and used propaganda to frame the war as symbol of anti-imperialist struggle. And these here are the weapons that defined combat during the Vietnam War, tools of destruction used on battlefields across the country. But the true horror of war isn't just in the weapons, it's in what they were used for. What you're about to hear is the voice of Paul Madlow, a former US soldier describing in his own words the day civilians were shot at My Lai.
There was about 45 people that we gathered in the center of the village. We made them squat down, and Lieutenant Calley came over and said, "You know what to do with them, don't you?" And I said yes. So I took it for granted that he just wanted us to watch them. And he left, and came back about 10 or 15 minutes later and said, "How come you ain't killed them yet?" And I told him that I didn't think you wanted us to kill them, that you just wanted us to guard them. He said, "No, I want them dead." And so he stepped back about 15 feet and he started shooting them. And he told me to start shooting. So I started shooting.
And the violence in Vietnam didn't stop at the ground level. From up above, the United States waged a relentless air war. The US Air Force dropped over 7 million tons of explosives across Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia, a scale of bombing the world had never seen before. Deadly weapons like napalm and white phosphorus turned entire regions into firestorms. Forests were incinerated, villages disappeared in seconds, and civilians, once again, bore the brunt of this overwhelming force. To cope with the aftermath of unexploded bombs and toxic chemicals, Vietnam mobilized domestic forces and partnered with international, non-governmental organizations. Together, they've cleared vast areas of land contaminated by explosives and chemical agents, including those affected by Agent Orange. Agent Orange was a powerful herbicide used by the US military to strip away jungle cover and crops, but it contained dioxin, a deadly toxin linked to cancer, deformities, and environmental destruction that continues to affect lives even today. The human cost remains heartbreaking. Many people, including children, have been disabled, lost limbs, or suffered lifelong health problems. Victims of Agent Orange still struggle with severe illnesses, genetic disorders, and birth defects passed down through generations. Wow, it's been really shocking and unsettling to see to what kind of level of cruelty humans can actually go when they're in a war. I hope you were able to take something with you from that. And I'm going now into the city to see more of the Vietnamese history. After exploring the war's physical and emotional scars, I made my way to the Fine Arts Museum in Ho Chi Minh City. Housed in a beautiful colonial-era building, the museum showcases Vietnam's artistic soul, from ancient sculptures to modern political expression. Several exhibits here focus on the Vietnam War, portraying its trauma, resistance, and resilience through powerful visual storytelling. The works offer a deeply humane perspective on suffering, heroism, and national pride. And central to that story is Ho Chi Minh, the revolutionary leader who became the face of Vietnam's struggle for independence. As president of North Vietnam, he led the movement against colonialism and US intervention with a vision of national unity and socialism. To this day, he's seen as a father figure to the nation. Across Vietnam, people lovingly refer to him as Uncle Ho, a symbol of dignity, perseverance, and patriotism. On our trail of the Viet Cong, we make our way up to the Independence Palace, which is also known as the Reunification Palace. Formerly, it has been a government palace. Nowadays, it houses a museum explaining all about the Vietnam War back in the 70s and 60s. And beneath it, you have bunkers and also the formerly president's car. It is time for us to enter the Independence Palace and see what the halls and the bunkers have in store for us. During the Vietnam War, this building served as the headquarters and residence of the President of South Vietnam. It was a nerve center of political power and military strategy, and for many, a symbol of the US-backed South Vietnamese regime. But on April 30th, 1975, history was made here. A North Vietnamese tank, Tank 843, smashed through the front gates, marking the fall of Saigon and the official end of the Vietnam War. And you just need to imagine how it must have been when the Vietnamese army was actually breaching these front gates and rushing the Independence Palace violently, taking over all of the building. These tanks are identical to the ones that broke through the Independence Palace's gate in April of 1975. And they stormed the palace with power and violence. And here we have a F-5E fighter aircraft, which was back then used by a Communist Party member to infiltrate the Southern Air Force and to bombard the Independence Palace from up above. Inside, the palace has been preserved just as it was, with war rooms, vintage radios and underground bunkers. One striking exhibit is the South Vietnamese president's car, a white Mercedes, frozen in time as if waiting for a final escape that never came. So now I'm curious, let's take a look at the bunker. I think that's the most interesting part of this tour. And as you can see, it's almost too small for me. I have to duck down a little bit. Now if there was an airstrike, this is where the president would actually sleep, inside the bunker. And right next to the bedroom, you actually have the president's war room, where he planned all of his military strategies. You can see the maps alongside the walls. And he has his chair in the center of the room, where he can make all the calls. They had, of course, also all kinds of radio communication systems in several rooms here in the bunker of the Independence Palace, and also radio transmitters. So next, we're making our way to the Ben 10 market, which is supposed to be a more, I would say touristic market, but hopefully we can find our souvenirs over there. I'm looking for a flag, or maybe some remainings from the Vietnam War. This market actually seems like more on the touristic side, but it could actually have what we need. Well, here we have some Vietnam flags, but we're actually looking for a Viet Cong one. Maybe they have something like this as well. And here they have all these crazy pipes, which Vietnamese all over the country smoke tobacco out of.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, you want some more? Later.
Do you have a flag, a Viet Cong? Viet Cong?
Viet Cong. Left Viet
Yes.
Cong. Left and Viet Cong.
A flag, yes. A flag.
Ủa con rắn đây đâu rồi ta? Nè, ok.
No snake, no snake.
You buy this one?
No
What
snake.
design?
I mean like this. Like
Mắt
this.
nẹt hả?
This.
Ah, you like this one?
Yes.
Trời. Blue, green.
No, like this, exactly. Yes. Perfect, nice.
How many you buy?
Do you have the same, but
This one design.
green, red, green?
Green hả?
The Viet
How many you buy?
North Vietnam.
I have this one, the blue.
Okay, then I go with this one. This one
Yeah.
looks good. I'm really happy with this one. I think I get this one. How much is it?
120.
120.
Big size.
That's too much. Come on.
100 small size.
We do like 50.
50 and this one nè. This one là true design. This one bán xịt
Nah,
no xem. You buy
come
this one 50. Come
This
on.
is like a 50. This is like at most a 50.
Rồi. At 100.
This 50?
Yeah. 50 for one.
For one? No, I want this one.
Big size and this one okay 80.
I give you 50 for it. That's more than enough.
You give for me 100. I change money 40, 60,000 dollars.
I give you 100, okay.
Yeah.
There we do it.
I change money and this one 40.
You give me 50.
60.
50.
Big size and this one handsome lion.
Okay, let's do 60. I'm okay with that. So we got actually what we're looking for, and we get the return. Fun. Thank you so much. Thank you. Cảm ơn. So we actually got it, the Vietnam flag. I'm still looking for the Viet Cong one, but I think we have no luck on this market. Maybe we have to go to another one. But this is still really nice. Xin chào. Do you have this one in old, like the North Vietnamese?
1029.
1029. Okay, thank you. Xin chào. Do you have this flag in an old one?
Xem sắc ly hả?
No, not the same, but the old one.
Ông one hả? Ông one là cái gì? I don't know.
Maybe green, red? Green, red?
I don't know. I'm sure you see.
Oh, this one. Yes, this one
green,
looks
red.
nice.
One more.
This one is, I think it's good. How much is it?
50.
50? Can we do 30?
50,000 dong. Very cheap.
50 is too much for it. Look, I paid 50 for this. It's much bigger.
This side, the new design. Here, the older design.
Yeah. Let's do 40 then.
Okay.
Yes? Okay.
Đẹp trai mình dán 10.
There you go. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Ah.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So there we have it. In remembrance to the Vietnam War, we have the Viet Cong flag as a souvenir. I'm really happy with our market hunt today. Now this was our adventure here at the Ben 10 market, and now it's time to get back on the trail of the Viet Cong. And our trail led me right here to the Cu Chi tunnels, a place that offers a deeper insight into how the Viet Cong waged their guerrilla war hidden beneath the earth. The self-built network of tunnels stretched for hundreds of kilometers across the Cu Chi district of Ho Chi Minh City. The Cu Chi tunnels were the location of several military campaigns during the Vietnam War and were the Viet Cong's base of operation for the Tet Offensive in 1968. So here we have the first model of a bunker that was actually built by the Viet Cong. So as you can see, you have a dining room in the bunker, you have a cooking place, you have a sleeping place, you have a weapon room, a room for storage, another room for storage, and you have like 8 meters down below or 12 meters down below the surface, you have like another tunnel, a second tunnel on the second level. And as you can see, they had like little traps around the tunnels. So if the US Air Force came into the tunnels, they would fall down into these traps and basically get pierced by these sticks.
A US soldier come here, they want to looking for the tunnel to find out to the choice. And they don't know where to trap, and when they go around here, they tap on the trap and they will be fall down the hole.
Booby traps and punji stick pits like this one, primitive but deadly, were set up throughout the whole jungle of Cu Chi. They slowed down US troops, inflicted serious injuries and created constant fear on the battlefield amongst the US Army. Throughout the war, the tunnels in and around Cu Chi proved to be a source of frustration for the US military in Saigon. The Viet Cong had been so well entrenched in the area that they were in the unique position of being able to control where and when battles would take place. By helping to covertly move supplies and house troops, the tunnels of Cu Chi allowed North Vietnamese fighters in their area of South Vietnam to survive, help prolong the war, and increase US costs and casualties.
They have to sit down first like that, put two legs of them, and they put their hands up on the right and left, and get in slowly like that. After that, they use the lip to cover around. Yeah, cover on this one to come out like this, because they don't want the enemy, they know where the tunnel engine. After that, they hold under here. We have two bars, arms up, straight the arm, hand the arm. After that, bend down the knee, and we can get in. It's very easy. Yeah, when we get in, we can go somewhere. It's very easy because the tunnel system is linking together. Okay, bye bye. See you tomorrow.
And now it's time for me to enter one of the actual tunnel entrances. And for a European like myself, it's surprisingly difficult. The opening is incredibly narrow, barely wide enough to squeeze through. It's hard to imagine entire units living and moving through these cramped spaces day after day. This gives you a real sense of the physical endurance and psychological resilience the Viet Cong needed to survive underground. So basically they fought the guerrilla warfare out of holes like this. They put some soldiers in there and they waited for the army, the US army, to come by, and they poked out some guns, basically waiting for the enemy to appear, and they shot them dead. Why did they do this? Because they knew if they had like a normal warfare with the Americans, they had no chance, because they had helicopters, they had better guns, they had more money, so they had to depend on the guerrilla warfare like this. So you basically might ask yourself, how did the Viet Cong were actually able to breathe in their bunkers? Well, they had air ventilation systems like this one. And these air ventilation systems not only helped them breathe better underground, but they also were able to release smoke from fire and any poisonous gases pumped into the tunnels by the American GIs. This right here is a bomb crater created by a B-52. You can just imagine with what power the American Air Force was hitting the Viet Cong down below in their bunkers. So now we're turning to a Viet Cong ourselves and we go down into the tunnels of Ho Chi. Okay, we're inside. These are the Ho Chi tunnels. Let's go. It's worth noting that the Ho Chi tunnels you see today have actually been made wider and taller to accommodate tourists. It's really, really dark down here and really, really narrow. You can see, like, my body fits just like that. And from the height, from the bottom to the top, it's almost like when I'm crouched. That's it. You don't have any more room. You go like this. You basically crawl down the tunnels. So even though it feels cramped now, the original tunnels were much narrower, often just enough for a small framed fighter to crawl through. Designed this way on purpose, they limited access for larger foreign soldiers and were equipped with trapdoors, dead ends and booby traps to protect against enemy infiltration. The tunnels weren't just hiding places, they were tactical strongholds. There's not much air down here also, you can't really breathe that well. And here you can see a ventilation system. It is really, really narrow. It's getting narrower and narrower. Every step you take. Now this is an adventure. We love adventures like this, huh? Oh yes. We go down. And here you have like a fake dead end. It goes further down. Yes.
Oh.
We did it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Easy.
You come to visualize.
So you basically get out this hole. And this is the exit of the tunnel. Oh fuck. We did it. This is some serious adventure. Now, these tunnels were really, really narrow. But I would recommend it to those who are brave enough to do it. Some people got claustrophobia and they turn around in the middle of the tunnel. So it's not for everyone. But if you do it, you have a serious feeling of accomplishment after. It's incredible. Okay guys, this was it. Live here from the Ho Chi tunnels. We had an insight into the horrifying tunnels that the Viet Cong built back in the days. And we truly went the trail of the Viet Cong. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, like and comment if you'd like to see more of those adventures like this. See you in our next adventure. Bye bye.